Thursday, September the 3rd, and it is game day, college game day in the state of Mississippi. Southern Miss going to host South Alabama tonight in Hattiesburg, where I was walking around their stadium last week on the vlog when I was down there. Of course, you got UAB is hosting Central Arkansas tonight in Birmingham also. So technically, UAB is the first FBS team to play a game this year because they're going to start like an hour before. The game in Hattiesburg is going to be the first FBS versus FBS game. So, you know, to use an old term, Division I versus Division I, that'll be the first game. And so, like we said, you know, there's kind of a historic nature about it from that perspective. And really, what's interesting is this is happening on the day that the news is popping out here that the Big Ten is planning to, according to some, make an announcement by the end of this week. So today's Thursday, it'd have to be between today and tomorrow, I guess, that they are going to re-engage their efforts to have a season and look forward to an October start date. You know, the only curious thing about it, again, I was not all in on the, you know, let's just wholly criticize the Big Ten and for their decision and all that. They're trying to listen to medical professionals, and anybody in their right mind knows they all want to play football. It's their revenue, right? So something led to that decision. Lots of debate about whether the political spectrum out there was, or it was part of the political spectrum, the decision. I don't know, but they certainly were listening to medical advice. So the thing now that's curious is it seems backward. Give themselves about a month to get ready to play. And the thing about it, that is, I saw the story yesterday that Ohio State is already practicing football, full pads practices, tackling, getting ready. So, I mean, they've already had an indication this was coming. If they felt like there was no hope whatsoever of playing any games this fall after their quote-unquote cancellation, they would not have done that. They would not have had practices, I don't think. It just seems like, you know, initially you'd go easy on the let's cancel everything, and then later, you know, you get medical information that you got to come in and cancel later on, which may happen in the SEC. We don't know. But it just seemed backward with the Big Ten. They cancel initially, shut it all down, but now going to open it back up. So what are we saying? That the medical information has changed for the better as compared to what it was a month ago? Well, maybe so. And that may be where we're headed. But ultimately, if they do that and we get that decision and they open it up, I mean, it's best for everybody. It's best for, and the people that really matter the most, it's best for the players in the Big Ten. I think all of that is because there was a slight bit of hope that they were going to get it back on the table, and those people in that conference knew that. It was just a matter of time, especially when everybody went forward without them. And other conferences, same level, lower levels, you know, high school stuff, all was going forward. So I think all that's positive. Like I said in an earlier vlog, you know, there's a lot of criticism out there and pointing finger and kind of giggling at the Pac12 and the Big Ten. I do think they rushed their decision. They made the decision a little before the time they had to. But in the grand scheme, if they ultimately come back and figure out a way to try to safely proceed, even though they get there at a different path than other conferences did, what's the big deal, right? And ultimately it is best if they can do it and feel like they can do it safely. It's what's best for the players. And, you know, if they took a different path to get to that decision than others did, then so what? It's just like people. We all take different paths to get to different decisions. On another note, there's always been something magical about high school football, like these hometown heroes. One thing you haven't seen from me here on the YouTube channel yet is any high school content. The guy who as a star for his small 1A, 2A high school, and maybe they win a lot of games. He kind of is a hero on a title team or a good team, but he doesn't go play in college. And in 10 years, he comes back and is a businessman in the community, or owns a bunch of land, or becomes a farmer locally or something. There are a million of those stories, and I think that just because there's a lot of them doesn't mean that they aren't meaningful. If there's a story that sort of needs to be told, there's a million different ways to tell a story. It could be anything from a 2-hour movie to a 30-minute documentary to a 5-minute piece on YouTube. It's just whatever you want to do as a creator. It's kind of like being an artist almost. It's just whatever you want to do. It's almost like every football fan you talk to remembers the first high school game they went to. I remember the first one that I went to. Talked about it yesterday on the radio show. There's a little magic there, and I'll be honest, I'm guilty of, over the last probably 10 years or so, I didn't pay as much attention and kind of lost my connection with high school football a lot because I was so engaged on college ball and not looking down your nose at high school football, but just feeling like I was in the college realm, not the high school realm. I believe people across the country are reconnecting and re-engaging with high school football in their local communities on a little bit of a heightened level. I mean, there's always, especially in certain parts of the country, in the South and everything, there's always been support for high school football, and in some places they're adamant about it, obviously. But I still think, given the pandemic, given how hungry people are, I've just noticed it here in Mississippi. They've been playing for a couple of weeks on the private school level, and now starting tomorrow night they're going to be playing on a public school level. That people are really, again, kind of connecting with their high school teams, and a lot of people reconnecting with them because there's that sense of community. And I think there's a heightened respect in these local communities for the coaches, administrators, players, and parents for, in the middle of all this pandemic, kind of figuring it out, doing the best they can, and just kind of forging ahead, going ahead and getting it going. There's a respect for that. And so you're going to see some content here on the channel going forward that's going to sort of illustrate some of that. But I'm really kind of going back. I'm really excited about high school football, and with everything going on, it's becoming more and more attractive to me. That's the vlog. That's the vlog for today. I got to get out and pump gas. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.